Shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Welcome to another edition of Monday Medicine. So let's open up with Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Let's get it in. Uh,
Romans.
today's lesson, today's class title, The Moment No Saved My Life. Let's get into it. Romans 15 and 4.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
And this is something that we need as a people, hope. We need to understand where we at as a people, the conditions that we are in, why we are in those conditions, and what we need to do to survive the conditions that we're in. And while we're in those conditions, we need to understand that no or not being allowed to do things from the seeking of counsel is part of our condition. Not everything is yes. Not everything is that you are allowed to do it. There's certain things that through counsel, you might be told no. Let me get Exodus. First, give me Deuteronomy 14:1. Let me establish a couple things. First, Deuteronomy 14, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God.
The Bible says that we are the children of the Most High. And being children, there's rules that fathers set in place for us. Give me Ephesians 6 and 1.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord.
It says, as children, we must obey our parents. Why?
For this is right.
For it's correct. Read.
Honor thy father and mother.
So now it says, honor our father and our mother. Read.
Which is the first commandment with promise.
Come on.
That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
A lot of times we don't realize that if we refuse counsel, if we refuse to listen to instructions, your life can be taken off this earth because we are prone to making what? Bad decisions. Bad decisions, grievous decisions, decisions that you might not be able to get out of it because that mistake you made was that grievous, that serious. Read it again.
Verse 3. That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
And that you may live long upon the earth. So from the beginning of time, we have always been given instructions. And from the beginning of time, we have also refused instruction. So we're going to read a couple scriptures from the beginning of time. Give me Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
And it says, and the land of Egypt was filled with them. So we all know the story, the history. Moses came into play. Then Moses saw the oppression, the oppressive state of his people. Let's jump to 2 verse 14.
Exodus.
I want to paint a picture of the mindset of us as a people, how we deal with each other when it comes to doing the things that are right and also taking heed to what? Counsel. Read.
Exodus chapter 2 and verse 14.
Start at 13.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together.
So he saw two of his brothers in a argument. Read.
And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us?
That statement is still made to this very day. Who are you to tell me what to do? Who are you to correct me? Who are you to instruct me? But read it again.
And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian?
So, the pointing of the finger started, but Moses was showing love. He was like, listen, let us not strive amongst each other. We are brothers. So we're going to go a little bit further into history. And Moses, delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt under the power of God. Let's go to 18, Exodus 18 and 19.
Exodus chapter 18 and verse
9. So
9.
before you read that, Moses is a man that took counsel. After we were delivered out of Egypt, he listened to his father-in-law and he received what? Counsel from him. Read.
Exodus chapter 18 and verse 19. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel.
I will do what?
Give thee counsel.
I will give thee counsel. Read.
And God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws.
And thou shalt do what?
Teach them ordinances and laws.
Come on.
And shall show them the way therein they must walk.
So that's the job of a leader. We're here to show you how you must walk. But what good is an effective leader if we are showing you how you must walk and you ultimately walk the other way? You walk into danger. Read. Read it from the top again.
Verse 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
It says we must provide what?
Out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s.
So it says that now we're going to place rulers over the people. Read.
And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace.
So this was the counsel that was given to Moses by his father-in-law. Let's see if he took heed to it. Jump to Deuteronomy 1. And we start at verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you, as he hath promised you. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife?
So there's no man alone can bear the issues of Israel. That's why the wise counsel is to set up what? Leaders. Leaders to govern the people. Leaders to judge matters. Leaders, teachers to give counsel and advice in different situations that the people will encounter. Read.
Verse 13. Take you wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes.
So it doesn't say take any men. It says take wise men. Men that are going to lead you down the right path. Read.
And I will make them rulers over you. And he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
So this thing that was spoken, the counsel that came from his father-in-law, it was understood that this is a good thing to do. All right, read.
So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother and the stranger that is with him.
Come on.
Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great.
So our job is to hear the small and the great. Come on.
Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do. And when we departed from Horeb, we went
All right, you
through.
can stop there. So all the things that we were commanded to do, Moses instructed us. He instructed us in the things that our Father gave us, our Heavenly Father gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to follow. Let's go to Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5 and start at verse 1.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 1. Be ye therefore.
Slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. Ephesians 5 and 1. Read.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 1. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children.
See, it says again, followers of God as children. Children that are what? Obedient. Read.
And walk in love, as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor.
Come on.
But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, hath any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
So children with these attributes, these spirits, the Lord said it is not possible for you to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Read.
Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord.
So we are looking to walk in the light. We were once walking in darkness, but now we are looking to walk in the light of the commandments. Read on.
Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Read on.
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly.
Slow down. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly. Let's look up that word, circumspectly. Hey, Joshua, slow down too, man. You racing, man. I think we got time, right? We just started. The class. The brother's like ready to finish it. Slow down. Take your time. Circumspect. Let's look it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it says, read 15 again while they bring that up.
Verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
But as wise. Let me know when you got it, IT. All right, let's read. What does that word circumspect means?
Definition of circumspectly. Circumspectly means in a way that is careful and avoids risks.
It says that it's careful and avoids risks. Any synonyms?
cautious,
All right, it says cautious,
careful,
careful, heedful, safe, vigilant. It means that things that you do, you really got to be um, looking at every possible avenue before you make certain decisions. Because the world out there is a dangerous place. It is a very dangerous place, and you can get yourself caught up in some very dangerous situations if you don't pay attention, if you don't seek counsel, if you don't move what? Circumspectly. What's some other words in there? Let it scroll down a little bit. I want you to click on forethoughtful. What is that? What does that go into? Right now, down below, it says forethoughtful. Yeah. This right here. My mic up. This right here is important to know. Read that word, forethoughtful.
forethoughtful, as in cautious, having or showing awareness of and preparation for the future.
You see that? See that? You have to be mindful of things that you are doing, that things that you are preparing to do. Scroll down. Let me see. Let me see those other words. Discerning. Let's read that. Let's look at that one.
Discerning, having or showing deep understanding and intelligent application of knowledge.
It says having a deep understanding means you are looking into every possible way before you commit. That requires a lot of counsel. Life decisions require a lot of counsel. I'm going to keep saying that. You can make some real serious mistakes because you don't count all the things that play into your decision. Scroll down. Let me see. Scroll down a little bit more. Um, click on clear-headed. What it says right there?
Having full use of one's mind and control over one's actions.
So you must be stable-minded. See the word right there, stable. Scroll down. It says stable, rational, sensible, reasonable, logical, analytical, clear, judicious, well balanced, level headed. These are all the things that keep you under the umbrella of being circumspect. Go back to the scripture where we was at, verse 16.
Verse 16.
15.
Verse
15 and
15.
16.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
When you're walking circumspectly, you're walking not as a fool. You're counting the cost. You're looking at every possible avenue, scenario, so that you're what? You're clear about the decision you're going to make. Give me Proverbs 5. Let me see if that's the one I want. Proverbs 5. Because you want to be clear. You don't want to make, knee-jerk decisions. 5 and 7.
Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger.
Hasn't that happened to Israel? Aren't we what? Aren't we in captivity? Isn't our what?
Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth.
Isn't strangers filled with the wealth of Israel? Read.
and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction?
Didn't we hate instructions? Let's read how we hate instructions. Hold that and give me Second Esdras. I believe it's 7. Let me get there with you. It's 7:19, but we're gonna get to the point. Second Esdras 7. I think is let's read from 21.
Second Esdras chapter 7.
Let's read 19. Let's read the whole thing to get the understanding. Read.
Yes, sir. Second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
Stop right there. IT, pull me that video up where I want to give a visual understanding of how and when we despise God's laws, this is what happens. Pull it up when you get it. Read that. Pause it. Read it. Go back.
Dramatic video captures the moment shots rang out in Long Beach during a rowdy senior skip day mob scene.
Now, I want you to understand, these are our young people. This is our youth. These are the ones that lack what? Guidance. They have no discipline, no structure. They don't understand the value of no, not doing this. They haven't listened to their father or their mother if they are in their life. Play. How long is this video? All right, play on. Is that it or is it repeating? I know. All right, you can drop that. See if you find me another one like that. Because I want us to understand there's a lot of danger out there that is unknown to us. And oftentimes our mind will justify us in doing things and we don't look at the danger that is in the things that we want to do, that we think that is right for us. Read on in Proverbs. I'm sorry, where I had you? Second Esdras, read 19.
Second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
Come on.
For God hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
Come on.
Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
So he said that they spake against God, they spake against him and imagined vain things. Read.
And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. But his law have they despised.
His law they have despised. Read.
And denied his covenants.
Come on.
In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full.
All right, you can stop there. So we have despised God's laws. We have despised his counsel. We have despised his teachers. We have despised the men that he has put before us to give us what? Wise counsel, to judge matters, to guide us in the way we should walk. Go back to where I had Proverbs. Proverbs 7. Read.
Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers.
And have not what? Obeyed the voice of your teachers. Read.
Nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of thine own cistern.
I can stop there. So we have hated our teachers. Proverbs 15:32. We have hated our teachers. We have hated instructions. I want to read Proverbs 15, start at 21 first. 21 and 22.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 21. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom.
But when you see videos of our youth involved in crimes, robberies, folly, things to that nature, they lack wisdom. They lack understanding. They lack counsel. They lack the notion of being told no. They lack the things that they have the things that lead them to their death, because they despise the laws of God. They despise their teachers. The things that are being taught by elders, they see it as foolishness. They see it as folly. Read.
But a man of understanding walketh uprightly.
Come on.
Without counsel, purposes are disappointed.
Without counsel, without righteous counsel, the things that you're trying to achieve, disappointment comes in it because it's not thought out. You have not reached out to people with the experience to guide you in things that you are trying to execute in your life, like marriage, life decisions. These are things that require what? Counsel, guidance. Come on, jump to verse 32.
Verse 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding.
It says, he that heareth reproof, he gets understanding. Go to Proverbs 31. I'm going to read 1 to 3. Here's a reproof that a mother is giving her son.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 1.
Reproof, counsel, instructions.
The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him.
Come on.
What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women.
It says, do what?
Give not thy strength unto women.
It says, give not your strength unto women. This is counsel that he's receiving. Come on.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And you notice a lot of the instructions that we are given in the Bible is thou shalt not, do not, don't go. It's always a lot of no. You rarely see a lot of instructions given as counsel, like yes, yes. No, most of the time is be mindful, do not, look out. I be admonished, my son. It's a lot of warnings. It's a lot of don't. Because there's much evil in the earth. And being that we have what? Deceitful minds, this wisdom is here to what? Pull us back. Pull us back into the safety of the Most High, the safety of our Father, the safety of our Father. Read it again.
Verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
All right. So we know that that's the mother. Let's see if the father said something different. Go to Tobit. I'm going to go to Tobit chapter 4. And you start at verse 3.
Tobit chapter 4 and verse 3. And when he had called him, he said, My son, when I am dead, bury me, and despise not thy mother.
And do what?
Despise not thy mother,
All right. Read.
but honor her all the days of thy life,
Come on.
and do that which shall please her, and grieve her not.
Read on.
Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for thee when thou wast in her womb, and when she was dead, bury her by me in one grave.
Come on.
My son, be mindful of the Lord.
This is being circumspect. My son, be what?
Be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin,
Come on.
or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness.
So when you see mob, when we just saw that video, flash mobs, our youth in stores ripping out cell phones, stomping other kids in the street, robberies. They are following the ways of unrighteousness. They have not received any kind of instruction, no type of counsel. They have not been given guidance where it says, obey your parents, that your days may be long upon the land. Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Come on.
And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine.
So you can see that you can pick different points in history and see that we always were to what? Have counsel. Counsel. And in counsel, it requires what? Patience. Meaning that you might be told no for a reason. That no may translate into just wait. Have patience. Let's go to Sirach 2, read 14.
The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
It says, woe unto you that have what?
Lost patience.
That have lost patience, because you want things to happen like a microwave. Pop it in, 5 minutes is done. Life is not like that. Some things require time. Some things require you to wait. Waiting allows you to what? Examine it, to think clearly. Like this, when we read that definition, it said clearly, thoughtful, mindful, circumspectly, cautiously. That's what patience allows you to do. The danger might not be immediate in front of you. It might take time. Like when bishops and deacons and captains say, hey, bro, wait. She might not be the one. Wait. And then when you don't wait, and you go outside of the counsel given, what happens? Now you end up in a whirl of hurt. Now all the problems that you think you had is now multiplied with other problems. Because what? Read it again. Woe unto what?
Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word.
Come on.
And they that love him his ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well-pleasing unto him.
What verse you at?
Verse 16, sir.
You're going to read to 17?
And they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight.
And humble their souls in their sight. Jump to 3 and 1. Sirach 3 and 1.
Sirach chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
That ye may be what?
Be safe.
Read up top again.
Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
That we may be safe. There's a lot of wisdom that comes from counsel. And it may not be what you want to hear, but when you stand back and you examine it and you listen to it and you take heed to it, a lot of times you are able to, what we say, dodge that bullet or dodge that situation. Because at that moment, you couldn't see it. It never manifested itself. But as time, the course of time takes place, now it's like, oh man, you ever hear cliches like, man, I'm glad I didn't do that. Look what would have happened to me. Some of us are lucky to say that, but most of us, what? We hate instruction. We hate the instructions given to us. Give me Hebrews 13:17. Hebrews 13:17, and then we're gonna pull up. I think there's an article there. Give me the one. Learning to embrace no. After you read the scripture. Hebrews 13:17. Read.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
I've witnessed a lot of us reading that scripture. It sounds good. It sounds eloquent. Obey them that bear the rule over you, for they watch over your soul. But when it comes to the moment of, all right, brother, don't do this because I'm watching over your soul. Guess what? Well, guess what you think happens? The brother does the opposite. He does the complete opposite. So that's telling me that we truly don't believe what we just read. It just sounds good. It sounds good to the ears. Give me before you read that article, I believe it's in Samuel. Let me see if I wrote it in my notes. Where it says, bring up the article while I look for it. I'll read that article. You got it?
The power of acceptance, learning to embrace no as an answer. In a world that often encourages the pursuit of success, hearing the word no can be disheartening and challenging to accept. However, learning to embrace and even appreciate no as an answer is a valuable skill that can lead to personal growth, improved relationships, and enhanced emotional resilience. While the concept of rejection might seem daunting, mastering the art of embracing no can be a transformative experience that leads to personal growth. Resilience.
It says that accepting and embracing no, it says it can lead to what?
Personal
growth, resilience, and a more fulfilling life. Read on.
The power of no. In a society that celebrates achievement and progress, the concept of rejection is often viewed negatively. Yet no holds an essential place in our lives. It serves as a boundary setting mechanism, an expression of personal preferences, and a reminder of our individual autonomy. Learning to accept no as an answer means recognizing and respecting these boundaries, even when they don't align with our desires.
Even if don't what?
Align with our desires.
A lot of times our desire is the worst thing for us. A lot of times, the things we desire, they are not profitable for us. It's just off of a what? Deceitful lust. It's deceitful. Your flesh is telling you, I want that. But in reality, it's a what's the word said? It's a what? Read that part again. It does not align.
It does not align with our desire, even when they don't align with our desires.
Even when it doesn't align with your desire. Come on, read.
Building emotional resilience. One of the most significant benefits of embracing rejection is the cultivation of emotional resilience. Receiving a no can be disappointing, but it also presents an opportunity to develop the ability to bounce back.
His mic is going out. His mic is going out. I can hear it. Read.
One of the most significant benefits of embracing rejection is the cultivation of emotional resilience. Receiving a no can be disappointing, but it also presents an opportunity to develop the ability to bounce back from setbacks.
So no is a part of life. No, not when you examine life, the reality of life, no is part of it. Rejection is part of it. But it allows you to reevaluate the situation. It allows you to plan. It allows you to maybe get some more counsel so that you can what? Bounce back from that setback. Read.
By learning to manage our emotional responses to rejection, we become better equipped to handle future challenges and maintain a positive outlook.
Strengthening relationships. Let's read that.
Accepting no as a valid response can lead to stronger and healthier relationships. When we respect others' boundaries and decisions, we demonstrate empathy and understanding. This, in turn, fosters trust and open communication, as people feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and preferences without fear of judgment. Embracing rejection encourages us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace new experiences. When we encounter resistance, we have the opportunity to reflect on our goals, motivations, and expectations. This introspection can lead to personal growth as we adjust our approach, refine our goals, and learn from our experiences. Accepting no as a legitimate response prompts us to consider alternative paths and options.
See, so no is vital in decision making because some of the things that you agree to, like we read earlier up in the article, it says it doesn't align. Sometimes it doesn't align with your what? Your morals. Sometimes saying yes means that you have to what? Trim your ways. Sometimes that yes option is placed in front of you to see if you will what? Cut corners, break laws, do things that are ungodly. And you ever notice sometimes the moment you are committed to saying no, the right option is presented to you. And sometimes before they say, well, hey man, look, there's no other way. It's either this way or the highway. And that this way might involve you what? Lowering your standards, lowering your moral values. Now you start doing things that it doesn't align with your thought process. But because your deceitful mind is telling you say yes is the only option. There's no other way, man. You gotta say yes. If you don't do this, you're gonna lose the opportunity. But sometimes you gotta be willing to lose the opportunity by saying what? No. And you'll see that in life. A lot of times the evil around you will put something in front of you that is not right for you, just to see if you will say yes. And the moment you're adamant about saying no, it's like, all right, man, you win. All right, you're like, I thought there was no other way. There's always another way. One of those ways is saying no. Read.
Rather than stubbornly pursuing a single course of action, we become open to exploring different avenues and solutions. This flexibility in decision making can lead to more well rounded and successful outcomes. Practical strategies for embracing no. Mindful acceptance. Practice mindfulness to become aware of your emotional reactions when facing rejection. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment and allow yourself time to process them. Shift perspective. Reframe no as an opportunity for growth and learning.
So these are different strategies for embracing no. Mindful acceptance. That means that you have to have a thought process that no is part of the equation. No is part of the decision process. And not what? Acknowledge your feelings without judgment and allow yourself time to process things. Shift perspective. Read that one.
Reframe no as an opportunity for growth and learning. Ask yourself what lessons you can extract from the experience and how it can contribute to your personal development.
Come on.
Practice
That's a
empathy.
very key point. Use the negative to shift your thought process. How are you going to go about executing things? Read.
Practice empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes to understand their perspective. Recognize that their decision is not a rejection of your worth, but a reflection of their own preferences, priorities, and circumstances.
And I'll tell you, that right there, a lot of times you don't understand your value. So a lot of times you'll lower your standards and say yes. You have to know your self-worth. You have to know the things you value in life, and not go the low road, so to speak, to acquire things that will put you in dangerous situations. Read on. 4.
Seek feedback.
When I see seek feedback, seek counsel. Seek counsel. After receiving a no, consider seeking constructive counsel. Constructive counsel. Read.
Constructive criticism can provide insights that help you refine your approach in the future.
Come on. 5.
Set realistic expectations. Evaluate whether your expectations align with reality. Sometimes rejection simply reflects a mismatch between what you want and what is currently feasible.
See what it says? Sometimes rejection reflects a mismatch between what you want and what is actually feasible to do. Conclusion. Read that.
Learning to accept no as an answer is an art that requires patience.
That requires what?
Patience.
That requires what?
Patience.
That is something our people lack. Patience. Patience. Because the Lord, if you think about it, the Lord knows as children what is best for us. He knows the moment to give it to us. And a lot of times he holds things back from us. Why? Because it's a hindrance to us. It could actually take you out of the truth. You could actually gain the whole world and what? Lose your soul. When it says what we read earlier, be circumspect all the days of your life. Finish that out. Conclusion. Requires patience.
Self-awareness and a willingness to grow.
Come on.
By embracing rejection as a natural part of life, we can build emotional resilience, strengthen relationships, foster personal growth, and make better decisions. Ultimately, our ability to gracefully accept no empowers us to navigate life's challenges with a positive attitude and an open heart.
And an open mind. Bring up that next article. Let me see. Let me touch on it real quick. Read the title.
Why parents should feel good about saying no to their children.
A lot of times parents don't want to say no to their children. They believe that in sometimes that entitlement or the child is going to be hurt and things to that nature. But our job is to what? Read it again. Why parents should do what?
Feel good about saying no to their children.
Sirach 30 and 9, let's read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 9. Conquer thy child.
Let's look at that word conquer real quick. It says, conquer thy child. So what does that mean? To conquer thy child.
Conquer occurs only in Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 9 with the meaning to pamper.
There should be another definition there. Definitions. What is Bible? Is Bible study the same thing? Scroll down. Look in Merriam, I believe. Yeah, Merriam-Webster. What does it say? All right, right there. Conquer. Where you at? All right, so it says a transitive word, verb.
Indulge or pamper.
I want you to go scroll down first. Let me see. No, go back before you click on that. Go back one page. Again. Right there. Read that.
Definition of conquer, as in to spoil, to treat with great or excessive care.
Come on.
Overjoyed to be parents at last, they will likely conquer that child shamelessly.
It says they will likely conquer that child shamelessly. Click on that right there. Synonyms of conquer. See the first one it says? Spoil. Pamper. Look at that. Click on Molly coddle. What does that mean?
As in to spoil.
As in to spoil. Click spoil.
As in loot.
All right, go back. So we get the point. So let's go back to Sirach 30 and 9.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child.
So it's talking about discipline. Discipline. Don't always play with your children in the sense of entertaining what? Folly. Entertaining foolishness. Proverbs 22:15.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Come on.
He that oppresseth the poor to increase his
riches. You can stop there. Proverbs 19:20.
Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Hear what it says to do what? Read it again.
Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
That you may be wise in your latter end. Read.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
There are many devices in our mind, but they do not profit us. They can be a danger to us. Many times the counsel of the Lord is what? No, don't do it. That counsel comes through men. That counsel comes through your officers, your judges, your teachers that read the wisdom of God and say, listen, do not go down that path. Don't do it. But there's what? Read verse 21 again.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar.
Proverbs 16:25.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
You hear what it says? You got to think about that. A lot of times our thoughts, it seems right. This seems like the right thing to do. But at the end of that road, death is waiting. Death is waiting. And it may not be an immediate death. It might be a sickness. Now you're bedridden. Now it's ripping your body apart slowly. You got caught up with the wrong person, the wrong things. And now you're in a coma. Now you're looking back and the scriptures and the conversations that you were told, you're saying, I wish I had listened to my teachers. But now it's too late. Death has caught up with you. Play that last video. Play it loud. Joshua, I want you to read this with strength too, this is it's a motivational speech about no. Play it. You ready?
The courage to say no.
The courage to say no.
The discipline
to say no.
The wisdom
to say no.
The strength
to say no.
Take a good
look
at any successful
person.
Any truly
fulfilled person.
They all have
this quality.
The courage
to
say no. When they must
say no.
The strength to say no
when I need to.
The courage and discipline to stick to the path that leads to my greatest self.
Even when
it is uncomfortable.
Even when it means
they are outcasted.
Even when it means
walking alone.
Even when it means
losing people.
The courage to say
no to things you know aren't right. The strength to say no to things that might be easy now,
but have
no future value.
It's when you're in
school and all your friends start taking drugs.
You know you'll
be left out by saying no.
But you also know
that adds no future to your future.
You must
say no.
You might not be one
of the cool kids now,
but how cool are they
going to be in the future when they're broke drug addicts?
It's when your friends keep
bugging you to go out drinking every single weekend. But you know your future quality of life is far more important than a night out.
You say no.
You say no.
Or maybe
you do go out.
You like your friends. But you have the
strength and discipline to say no to drinking.
Because you know
that takes you further away, not closer to the life you really want.
You say no.
You say no.
Because you know
your decisions will add up in time.
Your small,
consistent, strong choices will add to big results in time.
The difference between you and others will show because your choices
are different.
Every no
you make with strength and clarity will add up to one big yes in your results over time.
Your no will collect compound interest,
and the payout will be far beyond money value.
It will be a
higher quality life.
Better health,
better relationships, more respect,
more freedom. And that's just
it, really.
The more times
you can say no with clarity,
the more freedom you will have in the future. It's saying no to people you know shouldn't be in your life. No matter how uncomfortable that might be. It's the strength to say no to money opportunities that might be easy now, but do not align with your values. Instead, building something that does align with your values, building a life you love, even if it takes longer to build. You must say no to everything that doesn't serve your future. Everything that you know is wrong for you right now. No to everything that makes you weaker. No to everything that doesn't align with your values. No to bad habits. No to negative people. No to giving up. No to the comfort zone. No to fitting in. No to cutting corners. No to wrongdoing. No to chasing money for the sake of chasing money. Yes, to everything that makes you stronger, even when it is hard, especially when it's hard, even when it's painful, even when it takes longer. Yes, to doing everything right the first time. Yes, to integrity. Yes, to future quality of life. Yes, to freedom. Yes, to authenticity. Yes, to walking your own path, no matter how hard it is. Yes, to chasing your purpose and doing everything with intention. Yes, to courage. Yes, to discipline. Yes, to pushing yourself every single day. Yes, to freedom. Yes, to standing for what is right for me. The courage to say no. The discipline to say no. The wisdom to say no. The strength to say no. The strength to say no when I need to. The courage and discipline to stick to the path that leads to my greatest self.
All right, so Israel, this is the moment no save your life. With that, this has been Monday Medicine, and we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom. What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.